All right, guys, we're sitting back here backstage with Ray from Korn. How's it going, buddy?
What up, man? Good to see you.
Good. How's it going with Korn?
It sucks. It's awful. No, it's going great. This is yesterday was the 7th sold out show in Mayhem, and it's going great, man. It's pretty hard to believe it. Not hard to believe it. There's tours canceling left and right out there. Right. Country to pop to whatever, and to see all the people coming out and support. It's just been overwhelming. It's great.
Now, you've played in a lot of different bands before joining Korn. How is Korn different from, let's say, some of the other bands you've been in?
Yeah, that's a big difference. Like going from like David Lee Roth to Army of Anyone, the Stone Temple Pilots guys, to this is a home. But I've been a kind of a chameleon. In LA, I've made a living just playing drums, so I've been in a gazillion different bands. Yeah. But you don't just join a band like Korn, because they have their own. They've changed so much for the style of music in the '90s, so. They're so identifiable that like no one plays guitar like Monk. No one, you hear one note of Fieldy, it's him. No one sings like Jonathan Davis. So to get inside it and to really get your head around it, this is my 3rd world tour and first studio record. And so first studio record, like that nice cheap plug right there. But it's awesome because like they. A lot of times, I'm a fan myself, so I get it when I go to a lot of concerts. When I see a new member, it kind of bums me out. I'm like, man, who's that dude? I don't want to see somebody taking the,
Right.
Then the 5 core members of Korn. I mean, there's people with all the 5 guys tattooed on their arms, and they don't mess around. They're lifers. Korn fans are diehard. They're not just, I did kind of like that band Korn. No, it changed their lives. Some of it saved their lives. So, and I get that. So. Thanks to all the fans for accepting me. I mean, most of you. but it's like, I know what it's like when I go see, God, like Journey's got a new singer. Are you kidding me? Alice in Chains is a new singer.
He's a great singer.
He's amazing. Yeah. I'm just smacking stuff, and so I can imagine, I'm not as identifiable, but it does change the flavor of the band. So, but it was really cool when I got this gig. They're like, we want Ray Luzier. We don't want, you to copy everything on the record. We want your flavor because that's why we got you. So that made me feel good,
Yeah, that's the next question I have for you. As soon as they offered you the job and told you you were full-time, what went through your mind when they said that to you?
I said, I want to be a plumber. I'm going to plumbing school immediately. No. I just said it was blown away because, like I said, they've had a lot of great drummers from Terry Bozzio to Brooks Wackerman to Mike Borden from Faith No More to even Joey from Slipknot filled in a summer. So they've had such a plethora of drummers, and we're all different. You can't compare anybody. I mean, we're night and day. All these drummers I just mentioned, I play nothing like that. They play nothing like. But you've got to kind of fit in, So I was very honored when they asked me to fill the chair full time and to be a member because I'm used to kind of be in the LA drum slut because I'm always in like 7 bands and playing a couple gigs here, doing a TV commercial, playing on someone's record, teaching. So Korn's very full time, and I'm very happy to be in it. Yeah.
Well, with your style, do you feel like that's changed the band's dynamic by you joining the band?
It's definitely of a different flavor, but I hope to think that I kind of get the core of Korn and really what it's all about. And like I said, those guys, the 5 original from Bakersfield, nothing will ever change that style. I mean, they brought that, and that's what made them appeal to the masses and be together for 17 years and be their 9th studio record. Everybody knows that the longevity of bands these days isn't that great. You might have a hit or two, and then you fall down, and then they disappear. So, I definitely think hopefully I brought some fire and some more of an energy kind of thing. I'm a very energetic player. I don't really like that whole when I see a heavy band and they have that waiting for the bus look on their face, and they're like, I'm like, come on, man, give me something. I want to feel it. So the emotional aspect of this band is very deep, and just try to bring that aspect to it more than like look at me play. It's like more like the heart and passion, much like how we did the new record. We went back to Ross Robinson and that's hence the name Korn 3.
Right. How was that working with him? He's like really intense, right?
Yeah. He's love Ross to death, but I wanted to kill him the first 2 weeks of recording. He literally, right when I would just get ready to strangle him, it was like roll tape, and it was pretty brutal.
That's what he does, though, right?
He does, yeah. And I've worked with a lot of great producers in my time, and the last Army of Anyone record was Bob Ezrin, and
Right.
he did Pink
Kiss.
Floyd The Wall, and
Yeah.
one of the reasons I played drums was Kiss Destroyer, and so I got to work with a lot of great producers. But Ross could give a shit about the drums that are in front of you, about the guitar. It's all about the heart. We recorded in a room smaller than this, a 13 by 12 little room, and this Korn has a very big studio in LA, and he's like, you guys are too comfortable, we're going back to the old roots and back to the old like starving musician
Starving,
thing.
yeah.
And it was a trip, man, because there was no AC in there. I was sweating, I'd walk out there bleeding, John would be crying. It was, emotionally you just be so drained, but it was good. No click tracks for a drummer.
Wow.
No Pro Tools. We went to 2-inch tape, and
So you're doing old school.
old school, man, and no more than like 2 or 3 takes. You can make I'm kind of burnt on all the perfect sounding records out there. You can put anyone into a machine, pitch correct their voice, quantize the drums, and boom, you're a rock star. It's like, what happened to the days where bands just got in a room and you jammed and you play. If there's a mistake, so be it.
Right.
We're humans. All our hearts are beating at different tempos right now. So that record is definitely that. It's I've had maybe 2 or 3 takes tops, and there's no punch-ins. I'm like, please let me fix that, because I'm kind of a perfectionist.
Right.
Especially in the studio, the CDs outlive us all. When we're dead and gone, those things live on. It scares the shit out of me. So it's like, I really like. And then Ross is like, no, that's great. And literally, if you get the deluxe edition, there's a DVD of us making every song. They got a behind-the-scenes thing. And in this one take, Ross said, you're playing that fill too perfect. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, he got behind me, and he literally, when the fill come up, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Pushes my arm out of the way, and I'm playing it with like 3 limbs, and what the hell are you doing, you psycho? And so, yeah, that's heavy.
Very cool, man. Well, what was it that got you? What was it about the drums from an early age that you said, this is what I want to do?
I knew, I grew up on a big farm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we didn't have a neighbor for a mile, so I could literally set my drums in the yard if I wanted to, and it didn't disturb anybody. And I thank my parents I was on top of their bedroom for like years, just sucking hard, like playing the Led Zeppelin and Kiss and Ozzy, and it's weird. Like I knew, like when I was 6 or 7, that like this appealed to me. Every time I saw, my mom would always have the Elvis and Chuck Berry and Beatles and all these great music playing. I'm like, it would just paralyze me. I would just sit there in a daze and tap on everything, and
Did you set up the big Peter Criss drum set? That's what I used to do, man.
Yeah, but we couldn't really afford one, so my dad had to weld coffee cans together, so it was awesome. Like, I still have the orange. I painted them orange, and then he welded all these coffee cans, so I had to have the big,
That's cool.
Yeah, but I just knew at an early age that like I'd be doing this if I was rich, poor. You know what I mean? If I'm beating on a bucket on a street corner someday, that's so be it. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna do this till the day I die, and it's hard because you can sacrifice your family. Everyone lives in Pittsburgh. I live in LA now, so it was a big sacrifice. But 22 years, that's all I've done is play drums for a living. Whether it's playing a wedding with a disco wig on or playing a stadium with Ozzy, So,
Yeah, you've played with a lot of great guys, man. What was it like playing with Diamond Dave?
amazing. He's definitely hands down one of the best frontmen on the planet. He's just, I call it the school of Roth. It was going literally to school. I thought I knew a lot about the entertainment business and showbiz until I met Diamond Dave, and he just taught me that we're entertainers as more. I was just a muso geek that I taught at a music school, and I did all this, wrote curriculum, and I have a instructional DVD and all this stuff. And he's like, man, when people come to see a show, give them a show, and it can be the smallest thing, but give them, you're an entertainer, you're not, and it really, it can be quite crazy at times. It's like, I always tell people, having Daily Roth as your lead singer and having him as your roommate, 2 different things, because a lot of times we're on the same bus with him, and whew, yeah,
Loads of women.
no, not
No?
that. It's just the whole etiquette of like waking up just from waking up, you go to bed, you're like, wow, there's some different people in this world. But I love him to death. He's a bro, and he's so cool. He called me to go to the Van Halen rehearsals. They rented out the LA Forum. What band can rent out the LA Forum for 2 weeks to rehearse?
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
They kicked Circus Olay. They put Circus Olay in the parking lot, and Van Halen got to consume the entire arena. It was awesome. So I got to see the Van Halen rehearsals like in the white lights without the jumbotron, and they're stopping in the middle. You really got me. It was a trip because I'm such a huge fan, you know. Still, so there wasn't one night we opened with Hot for Teacher every night, and there wasn't one night where I didn't look out and go, "That's really Diamond Dave," like because it's just never really you never get used to that, you know. It's like, so yeah, it's great.
That's awesome, man. Well, what's with Korn after this? After Mayhem, what are you guys doing?
We just keep going to tour. I mean, we're going to Europe immediately. We're going to Tel Aviv, Israel with Ozzy.
Sweet.
Paris, Milan with Ozzy, like those Oz Fests over there. And then we come back for 9 days, go back again to headline our own tour. Japan, 3 days. Australia. It's just...
You guys doing like a winter tour over here? Will you be back in the winter, or...?
I don't know. I heard they're always scurrying up dates. Korn.com. Check it out. Cool. That'll have the latest updates.
All right. Well, any words for the fans?
Just thanks so much for the support. You know, especially on Korn 3 making us number 2 in billboards. It's hard in 2010. It's hard to. People are stealing a lot of records, which bums me out. But I think it does. Like a lot of kids don't even know that they're doing anything wrong by it. You know, it's $12. Like I can scrape up change in my couch to buy a CD. I don't know, but you know, thank God they're coming to see the live shows, and we're still, like I said, number 2, and the album's doing really good. So thanks for everyone supporting it, and check out Korn.com and see you out there.
All right, cool, Ray. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Catch him Korn.com. We'll see you. Peace.